welcome back to my channel. My name is Cece. I am a sex positive artist and graphic designer based in New York City. And I am gonna do 75 soft. Cheers! 75 slay!
Cheers to 75 days slay.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm making this video because I want to hold myself accountable, but also hopefully this is a sign that you can also do 75 soft. I never used to be someone who, and I still am not, someone who is into fitness, dieting. I will not be dieting on 75 soft. That is not what I'm here for. I always hated going to the gym, like running, lifting weights, had a weird relationship with movement and my body image and all of that growing up. It wasn't recently until I fell in love with the sport of climbing where I'm now really excited to go to the gym and I look forward to climbing and bouldering and moving my body. I've only been doing that for the past year and it's really just like shifted my energy and my mindset and my physical health. But more recently this summer, I kind of just felt like I've been yearning for this change in energy and perspective and just renewed like mental, spiritual, physical, sexual energy, to be really honest with y'all. I think I've started to get into like unhealthy habits. I'm not really being intentional with what I'm putting into my body food-wise. I did the Artist Way at the end of last year and that was like an 8-week course / program, whatever you want to call it, and that completely changed my life. Not to be dramatic or anything, but it like completely changed how I look at my own creative habits, how I view creativity as an artist, as a human being. So I'm kind of yearning for that same sense of change and that same kind of glow up. Not that I like need a glow up or anything, but I just need some sort of change in my routine, in my life, for the better. Also, I would never do 75 hard. I can't. In this New York City summer weather, not happening. We're doing 75 soft, but I'm calling it 75 slay because I'm adding some of my own rules, requirements, whatever. Just want to say I'm not doing this to get fit, to get abs. Like, that is not the goal. It's really just intentionality. Like, I want to leave 75 slay feeling more intentional with my eating habits, feeling more intentional with how I'm moving my body, feeling more intentional with drinking water every day, feeling more intentional with journaling and reading. So what are my rules for 75 slay? I've kept most of the same rules from 75 soft and also some from 75 hard, and I also added a few of my own. So first rule, journal every morning. That is something that I've been practicing ever since I did the Artist Way last year. Doing my morning pages is super important, and I used to never journal ever. I hated journaling, I hated writing. I'm more of a visual artist. I hated writing things down. I never knew how to express myself by journaling. The Artist Way convinced me otherwise, so I'm a huge journaler now, but I feel like over the past couple of months, sometimes I'll be like really busy in the morning and then I just forget, and I don't want to do that. 75 slay is about keeping on track, and if we miss a day, we have to do it all over again. Okay, rule number 2, eat well and no alcohol. I think the rule in 75 soft is you can drink a little bit, but I'm saying no to alcohol. I feel like I've been sober curious for the past year or so, just like being more self-aware and self-conscious of when I'm drinking and how much I'm drinking and why I'm drinking. Is it like social pressure? I think that's the one rule, honestly, that I'm the most scared about because it kind of involves like social norms and group settings, and saying no to a drink might mean like disappointing a friend or like being judged. So it's gonna really test my mental strength to say no to a drink, but I am curious as to how not drinking for 75 days is going to impact how I end up feeling about alcohol. And then in terms of eating well, I kind of mentioned this briefly before. I am not dieting. I really hate diet culture. So what I mean by eating well is just like being more intentional and being more wary of the nutrients I'm putting into my body and just like choosing more healthy options. The next rule, exercise 45 minutes every day. with 1 day of active recovery per week. So that's like working out 6 days a week, right? Currently, I've been going to the climbing gym like 3 to 4 times a week. So I think 6 times is gonna be doable. I don't know if I'm gonna go climbing for all 6 of those days. I think taking a walk is also a good form of exercise. I might take a dance class here or there. But again, I'm not someone who goes to like the gym to lift weights. I'm not a runner, I'm not a track star. Like, we're just doing those little like workout hobbies that we actually enjoy. Next rule, drink 3 liters of water per day. I've got my water here, already chugging. Next rule is read every day. I'm gonna try and read like self-help books, but also gonna throw in some like fiction and other like non-fiction books in there as well. The next rule is take a progress photo every day. And from what I read, this is the rule that people usually forget to do, and that's why they have to start 75 soft or 75 hard all over again, because it's such like a small little task and you can easily just forget about it. So I'm gonna try and take a photo every single morning after I get out of bed, before I get dressed. I feel like the photos aren't gonna be like super important to me. It's kind of just like vibes and seeing how and if there's going to be a change in my physique, but I'm not like really going to be judging my progress photos in like an important way. And then the last rule that I've set for myself is no dating apps. You know, it's the summer in New York and like people are out having fun. It was Pride, it's brat summer. Like, I downloaded the dating apps to kind of like find something casual. I keep asking myself, like, why am I on the apps in the first place? Am I really being intentional with like finding something casual right now? And I don't really think so. So I'm deleting all the apps, hopefully not gonna re-download them anytime soon. Gonna live my single girly era, but you know, if something happens in person, I won't say no. Okay, so those are my 75 slay rules. We are starting today with day 1 and we're gonna see how this goes. I've created a Notion board just to keep myself on track. The day today is July 22nd, and from my math, the estimated end date, if I'm able to make it all the way through the next 75 days, is October 4th. So we gotta place our bets right now if I'm able to make it. I feel like I will, but that's just like my brain being maybe a little bit delusional. I also want to create trust within myself that if I say that I'm going to do something, that I'm actually going to see it through and be able to do it. I'm really excited to start. I'm excited to like have these things I have to get done every day and keep me grounded. And again, the biggest thing here is just intentionality, to go about every day being more intentional with my habits, and hopefully we'll leave 75 Slay feeling so much stronger physically, mentally, spiritually, and ready to conquer anything. So yeah, come on, let's do it.
It's all about you. 어떻게 내 모든 노래 널 향해 가고 있으니까. It's you again, yeah. Baby, it is true. 내 손에 닿은 이 연기에 다른 어떤 말로 설명할 수 없는 거야. All I want is just one kiss. 사라지는 내 이야기. 사가진 꿈처럼 부드러운
Hello! So we are at day 27 of 75 Slay, and I just wanted to do a little bit of a check-in and catch up with you guys again and talk about how the process has been going so far for me. We are a little bit over a third of the way there, which is kind of crazy to me because time has been passing by so quickly. Honestly, the first couple of weeks have been kind of easy. Like by day 10, I kind of forgot that I was even doing this challenge. But I think that's the point, right? Like you want these habits to be kind of ingrained in your system by the end of it. So I was glad that I was kind of able to see that so early on. But the reason that I wanted to check in, it's currently Saturday, August 17th, and this past week has been by far, I think, the most challenged that I felt for a couple of reasons. The main reasons being there was just like a lot of things happening in my life this week that made me feel a little less motivated, a little emotionally exhausted, a little bit sad, and on top of all of that, I was on my period. So it was kind of just like the mix of all of these factors that made me feel like I was challenged a little bit, or challenged more than I have been during the past few weeks. On Tuesday, I remember I was gonna go to the gym and I was feeling really up for that, and then, you know, some stuff happened in my personal life and I was like, fuck, like I really don't want to go to the gym anymore. I ended up taking a walk. I still got my daily exercise in, which is fine. I think I'm noticing habits starting to slip a tiny bit, or I'm not doing things to the extent that I would like to do them. Also, I'm reading Atomic Habits right now, and I just finished a chapter that was like, it's okay if you don't do your habits perfectly. Like, that is not the end goal. The goal is to get yourself to the gym. The goal is to get yourself to exercise. I am proud that I've been able to maintain everything this week. I haven't broken a rule yet. I'm still going strong, even though I've kind of been feeling like this was a bit of an off week for me. That Tuesday, I was just like not in the best headspace. I was feeling emotionally down, was feeling a little bit sad, was doing a lot of journaling, but it just so happened that I was going to a concert that night, and, you know, there's a bar. I was like, fuck, if I wasn't doing 75 Slay right now, I think I would probably be getting a drink. And also, I was kind of feeling the urge to get back on the dating apps and to kind of receive that external validation that I feel like I usually get when I'm on the app swiping. And I was just like, fuck, this is a sign that these things, drinking and being on the apps, are just coping mechanisms of mine. And it made me really have to question, like, why do I want to drink right now? Is it to feel numb? Is it to feel better about myself? Is it to avoid this uncomfortable feeling that I have to sit with? Yeah, so that's kind of been what's on my mind for this week. But I think I'm also really grateful that I'm doing 75 Slay right now, and it's forcing me to rethink about those habits and those coping mechanisms. And I'll say it, like, I'm proud of myself for not getting back on the apps, for not buying a drink that night, and I'm really glad that I had the self-control to kind of realize that and stop myself. Anyways, so just wanted to do that little check-in. We'll get right back to the video, but I think the next time that I'm going to check in is going to be on day 75. So I'll see you then. Hello, good morning, y'all. It is the morning after the last day of 75 Slay. I'm here on my roof with my morning cup of strawberry matcha and my journal and my book. I'm doing my sacred morning routine that I now have set for myself because of 75 Slay. And I'm feeling really proud of myself, really grateful, really accomplished. It is literally the next morning. I had my last day 75 yesterday, which was a Friday, and I'm feeling a lot lighter and just excited about moving forward now. I will say the last 14 days of 75 Slay have probably been the hardest out of all 75 days. The second to last week, I had my period and I was having probably the worst cramps, like multiple days in a row, which is unusual for me, and just trying to find the energy to go to the gym was really tough that week. And so that's obviously something that people, you know, with vulvas have to worry about doing a challenge like this, is that like things just happen to our bodies that we can't control. And unfortunately I was like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? Like, but I did push through and was able to find time to like go to a yoga class or go climbing even for a little bit. So I'm glad that I did that. And then this last week was just tough because I had so many other things going on in my life besides 75 Slay. I was just so busy, and so finding time to go to the gym was a little bit tough because I was also like, the end is so close, why can't I just stop here? But I'm glad that I pushed myself because now I feel like I've actually accomplished all 75 days without breaking any rules, and I'm really proud of myself for that. The one rule that I do regret giving myself is taking the progress picture every single day, because that kind of became a nuisance for me. Like, I woke up, I had to put on my sports bra, my little booty shorts, and take a fucking photo in front of the mirror before I could start like my day, before I could start journaling. And that kind of like, even though it doesn't take that much time, it was just like a thing that I had to cross off my, you know, checklist, and I kind of hated doing that. But I am kind of glad that I have some sort of like physical evidence of every single day that passed. I don't think much of my physical appearance ended up changing. I think I was curious to see if anything was going to change, but I don't think anything really did. I don't know if I'm going to end up sharing the photos in this vlog, but we'll see. I feel like I should have done like one progress photo per week, which I feel like is what people normally do in 75 Soft. Yesterday and this morning, I've just been reflecting a lot on how I'm going to move forward with just like my life. Not to be dramatic or anything, just like how I'm going to move forward with 75 Soft and what I've learned from it, what I'm going to take out of it. I honestly think I'm going to keep a lot of the habits that I set for myself. Like, I'm still going to be drinking a shit ton of water, going to still do my morning pages / morning journaling, going to read every day. I'm currently reading Want. It's a collection of anonymous essays submitted by different women across the world about their sexual fantasies, and it's so on brand for me, obviously, but it's really good. This is the current book that I'm reading. During this process, I also read Atomic Habits, which, funny enough, like while I was reading Atomic Habits, I was like, a lot of these things that he's saying I'm already doing, which, slay, good for me. And then one other book that I read during this process was The Karma of Success by Liz Tran, and I highly recommend that book to anyone, even if you're doing this challenge or not. It's like a really great way to like shift your perspective around what success looks like to you, what habit changing looks like for you. Definitely recommend. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to keep reading. I don't think I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a week. I think I'm going to aim for 5, or at least like in the other days, like walk around. I like live in New York City, so I'm like walking every day anyways, but in terms of like actually physically going to the gym, I think I'm gonna try and go 5 times a week. My climbing gym also offers yoga classes and Pilates classes along with your gym membership, so that was really nice. And I think I've found like a couple of classes and teachers that I really like that I want to try and go to every week. What else am I forgetting? Oh, drinking. Let's talk about drinking. So I didn't drink for the past 75 days. And I know in like 75 Soft, you can make the rule like you have a drink once a week or something like that, but I decided to not drink at all. And I think my perspective around drinking has kind of changed, but I don't think I'm going to be sober moving forward from this, but I do think I will be drinking significantly less than I used to. I was really surprised when I was in environments where everyone else was drinking except me, and I didn't feel left out. Like, I didn't even feel like I wanted to also be drinking. I think that just really made me question like my intentionality when it comes to drinking in those social settings. Mainly those social settings were like concerts where everyone, you know, where there's a bar, and so it's natural for everyone to just go and grab a drink, or like a birthday party where everyone is drinking you know, beer or like a vodka soda or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not drinking right now, and I didn't want to be drinking. Usually I'd automatically just pour a drink for myself because everyone else in the room was drinking. The reason why I say why I don't think I'll be sober moving on from this is because I fucking love a cocktail. There's something about specifically going to Tiki Chick, getting a frozen pina colada, being a little bit tipsy, and yapping with your besties. Like, I just miss that. And so honestly, because of Tiki Chick, I'm like, I can't give up drinking. I went to Tiki Chick once during 75 Slay by myself, actually, and I got a mocktail. That was really good. And I was like just like reading my book at the bar, but you know, it hits different. I don't know. Like, also, I already like wasn't a huge drinker. Like, if I go to a cocktail bar, I'll at most get 2 drinks. Like, I never get more than 2 drinks. Usually I only get 1. So I'm like, it'll be fine. I miss Tiki Chick. Literally, my friend Casey and I are going this upcoming Tuesday for their happy hour to just like celebrate the end of 75 Slay and, you know, have a pina colada. That sounds so amazing. The other rule, dating apps. I stayed off of all dating apps for the past 75 days. I've also started just like decentering romance in my life. That has kind of been a new thing for me. I have just been like really frustrated with the dating scene this past year, honestly. Also, I've been thinking about what I was able to accomplish within the last 75 days in addition to maintaining all of the rules. I was able to send my first V5, which was such a slay. Like, that was a goal of mine for 2024, was to send my first V5, and I did it during 75 Slay. I also started my tattoo apprenticeship. If you didn't know, I'm currently a tattoo apprentice, and I've been vlogging about that experience as well. I started that apprenticeship during 75 Slay. I did my first tattoo on myself during 75 Slay as well. There will be a vlog about that whole experience coming out soon. And I hosted sex trivia 3 times. I hosted a vulva paint and sip. Like, these are all things I did during the past 75 days. I've been able to accomplish so much because of the rules that I set for myself, and not despite of them. Like, even though I was busy all the time, like finding time to go to the gym and like doing all these things, but like pouring energy into my physical health definitely benefited me in so many other areas of my life. And I think it just allowed me to thrive even more. It challenged me to set better boundaries with myself and my friends. It taught me to say no to social functions that I didn't think would fill up my cup, and really just like learn how to practice self-love for myself in general. I feel like a lot of our habit building culture is quite toxic, especially with social media these days. We just kind of blindly follow other people and what they're doing and what they think is best for everyone else, which I know, like, I did 75 Soft, essentially. Like, that has been something that has been very popular on social media. But going into it, I think my entire goal was really to be more intentional with myself, and to be more intentional not only with my habits, but just like my everyday choices, and to really think about, why am I doing this? What purpose is it serving me? Like, why am I drinking? Like, do I even want to be drinking right now? So I'm not advocating for everyone to do this challenge. Like, I definitely like came out of it with something that I'm going to continue doing moving forward. I know like going to the gym isn't the right solution for every single person, so I'm not like, I don't want this video to come across as like, oh, I think everyone should do 75 Soft. I do think, though, you don't need a new year to be able to make changes in your life. That is kind of what I'm advocating for, and I am also advocating for you to decide what kind of changes you want. I think what I really liked about 75 Slay for myself is that I was able to adjust the rules accordingly to what I personally wanted, and I think that's like something that we all should be doing more. If going to the gym 6 times a week isn't a goal of yours, like, just don't, you don't have to do that. I know of an artist who started doing 75 Soft, and in her version she made it a goal to do a completed illustration every day. So that was really awesome seeing like her kind of version of the challenge. There was a quote in Atomic Habits that was like, the journey of building habits is just the journey of becoming yourself, or something like that. I'll pop it on the screen. But I was like, damn, that is so true. Like, I feel like during the past 75 days, I feel more myself. I feel more confident in myself, and I feel like, honestly, like I can move forward knowing that I can do whatever I set my mind to. But yeah, I just think it's so important to build habits with intention, and really like knowing yourself and what self-love looks like for you, and what is really going to benefit your own physical needs, your own mental needs, spiritual needs, and all of that. Also, like, don't listen to me. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just did this challenge and I feel like I got something out of it. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what I'm able to keep up with in these next few weeks, and just like generally moving forward of what feels realistic to me. If, you know, going to the gym 5 times a week is a possibility for the next couple of weeks and whatnot, but I am feeling optimistic and hopeful and excited to that this is finally over, and that I can have a drink and celebrate, and B, that like this is something that I accomplished this year, and I'm again like feeling really proud of myself, feeling really grateful that I was able to do this and get something out of it. And I hope that you feel a little bit inspired watching this journey, or maybe it inspired you to do something similar. The artist in me is like, oh, I should now do 75 Slay, but the art edition where I draw every day and I like go on artist dates. I'm like, girl, you need to calm down. Like, we can only do so many challenges a year. You know, that idea, I guess, excites me, and like the idea of like building habits and like becoming more of the person that I want to be is, you know, an exciting journey. And so thank you for coming along this journey with me. Please subscribe, please like this video if you enjoyed it. I'm going to be posting another Tattoo Apprenticeship Diaries episode soon, so definitely subscribe to see that. So yeah, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.